friends, it's Pixie. Welcome back to my home. I forgot to say welcome in my last video with the coloring raccoons, but I hope you still knew that you are welcome. Today we're going to be very silly, but you already know what I'm gonna do. I have my smallest books and I want to show them to you. This idea popped into my head that this would be a silly fun video to do, and then I was like, who's gonna watch that? That's stupid. But I can't get the idea out of my head and it's been months. So I'm just gonna do it. So we're gonna start on the larger side of a small scale with these three: Alice in Wonderland, Hamlet, and Macbeth. Now, if we compare them to my hand, we can see that they are quite small. Here's Alice. I found Alice in my storage unit when I was down there looking for my Winnie the Pooh books, which are normal sized, by the way, and I didn't find them. But I found this and I reread it, and it's really not for me. But I'm still gonna keep it because it's from my childhood. As you can see, I've scribbled in it and stuff. But I don't know, to me it's just kind of pointless. If you like it, I love that for you, but it wasn't for me. Shakespeare. It's from when I studied literature at university like 10 years ago, because your bitch is old. And I appear to have put a candle on Hamlet at one point because there's wax on it. I remember enjoying Macbeth a lot. I liked Lady Macbeth as a character, and I just like the witchy vibes. And I just like reading about evil women. If you watch my book videos before, you may already know this about me. I don't know. Don't tell my therapist. The next small is Howl by Allen Ginsberg. Also pretty small, but still, decent size. This is another one that I bought when I was in the US, and I thought it was a fitting thing to read, I guess. I enjoyed it, but it didn't leave a lasting impression on me, I can't say. And then we have the small Penguin editions. The Communist Manifesto, obviously, best book ever written. Sappho, Come Close. And The Lady in the Looking Glass by Virginia Woolf. And a picture of her on the back. I really like these silvery classics editions, but the black ones, I don't know, Penguin generally have really good design. My favorite book cover of all time is also a penguin, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Penguin Classics Deluxe. So I love their designers. And here we have a whole little bunch of small pocket-sized books. So first up we have two books from Bookmarks, socialist bookshop in London. Rebel's Guide to Eleanor Marx. She was Karl Marx's daughter, and she is lesser known, but she also did a lot of good work in the workers' movement and for, I forget what it's called, but for equal voting rights. And Rosa Luxemburg, famous revolutionary. Her book is a lot thicker. And then a gift from my grandmother, Marc Chagall with Bible verses. So there's like a painting and then a little Bible verse. I'm not religious myself, but some of these verses are pretty. And Chagall does cool paintings. I mean, look at this, isn't this cool? Then we have 4 short stories from a Swedish publisher who specifically do short stories in this little format. And they also always have really good designs. I really enjoy them. Again, a Virginia Woolf. I really enjoy her writing. I also really like this one. Karin Boye was a Swedish author, so maybe it's pointless to talk about her on English-speaking booktube, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's a story about a woman sort of finding herself and standing up for her own well-being. And I love that for her. Then we have Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Now we're getting down to the size that I can hold easily in my hand. And I have small hands, by the way. I'm a pretty small person. I mean, I'm chunky, but I'm small. I'm one of those chunky smalls. Death of a Salesman was recommended to me by a comrade. So shout out to Sunny if you watch this. And it's essentially about the plight of the working class. It's pretty sad. And it's funny, on the back it has a quote by Arthur Miller where he's like, attempts were made to justify or dismiss the play as a left-wing piece or a right-wing piece. The underlying presumption is that the political implications are valid elements in its aesthetic evaluation. And he doesn't think so, but I don't know how you can completely separate the politics from the aesthetics, like it's all part of the same whole, you know? That being said, I've spoken about this before, but to a certain extent, in certain circumstances, I can definitely enjoy works of literature where I don't agree completely with the politics, and I can even find it interesting to read. But I think it's silly when authors are like, my work is apolitical. Okay. We all live in a political reality, but excuse you, you're built different, I guess. Anyway, here is another penguin short story. This design isn't quite as dope, but it's pretty cute. So the portrait of Mr. W.H. It's been a while since I read this, but it has gay vibes, definitely gay vibes. It has to do with identifying the subject of Shakespeare's sonnets, or at least some of them. Okay, now we're really getting down in size. This is exciting. Look at this. You can't even see what it is. This is Dumb Cat by Henrik Wallmark. I can't anglicize Swedish names, I'm sorry. I know it sounds really weird, probably. So, this is an indie published comic. I follow Henrik on Instagram because I used to listen to a band he was in. And they were called Heartsick Groans, which was taken from a Shakespeare play, by the way. I think that's fun. Fun trivia. So there's only 200 of these. I have number 32, and he's written me a little note. And it's a comic about a cat who just makes bad decisions. I will link to his Instagram below, or website or something, so you can check out what he's doing, because he's a good dude and he does fun stuff. And then we have a pixie about Pixie. So Pixie books are these kind of fast food equivalents of children's books that you can often get by the register in the supermarket and stuff like that. And they're called Pixie books. But I don't spell my name that way, which some people have a hard time with, which I don't get, but it's fine. I think it's because of these books. And this book is illustrated by a pretty famous Swedish illustrator, Stina Wirsén. And it's all about sharing and reading these little books. And I got this from my mom as a sort of joke gift about my name. But I think it's really cute. I used to have these as a child, and there are so many. So this is part of series 216, and there are eight books shown on the back. So I don't know if you can do the math, but 216 series of 8 books each. Oh, it says 1443 on the cover. So maybe there's been 1443 books like this. That's insane to think about, but okay. Okay, now for the smallest and funnest ones. I hope you're excited. Shakespeare's Guide to Insults. How fun is this? The Bard's Guide to Abuses and Affronts. And look how small. It's so small. And it's just very good. And then we have this super tiny little sketchbook. I have about halfway filled it. Here's a drawing of a bat that I made in it. And it's just like silly little doodles, nothing serious. And it even has a little strap to keep it closed. I got this from Flying Tiger. And I wish they still had these, because I wish I'd stuck to a theme with this one. I was gonna do that. I started drawing like friends when I was at a pub, and it was gonna be like drawing people from life, but then I was just like, whatever, and ignored that. But look, it's so small, it's so small. And now, the crowning jewel in my tidy collection. Look, what is this? A book for ants? It's very old. I have inherited this from my grandfather, and it is a Swedish-Spanish dictionary, and it's actually perfectly readable if you know either language, of course. Look! So small, so small. I usually keep it closed with this little hair tie, because the red cover has gone loose and the first page is just like hanging by a thread. But yeah, this is a very small book, and it's just super cute. And these were my smallest books. Thank you if you stuck around to hang out with me for this very silly little book tour. Before we go, I want to shout out my patrons for supporting my art. I really appreciate that. If you want to see what kind of art I do, my Instagram is linked below. And if you want an extra art video every month, my Patreon is also linked below. And just thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate just your company. I don't need anything else from you. So thank you, and take care of yourself until I see you next time. Bye!